Meteorologist and climate specialist Elisa Rafa joins us now. Elisa, I was talking with my mom earlier. My parents live in Wisconsin, and they were talking about the smoke, but it sounds like it's also making its way east.
Yeah, we're looking at some haziness making it as far east as even New York, the Carolinas, seeing some of that haze. Around here, that haze has been a little bit lighter, but I've seen some thicker haze up for some, like I said, some communities like New York and areas going to the northeast. Now, I want to show you this is a live interactive map from the EPA Air Now data. You see the red and purples, that is the site of the wildfires up in Alberta, Canada. And then when you zoom out, you can see the grays. That's where that smoke is dipping, like Morgan was saying, for some of those northern plains communities. North Dakota has had some pretty bad air quality the last couple of days. And then that stretches off to the east, where you see some of those grays stretching to the east coast. So let me show you again where we're seeing some of these impacts. Again, they are stretching from Canada and then kind of dipping southward into some of the northern plains. There's the site of the fire to the north there in the Alberta, Canada region. And then here's where we're seeing some of these light and in some places moderate impacts. Carolinas being on the lighter zone, but some moderate impacts for some of those Great Lakes states, the northern plains, and then headed over to the northeast. Okay, well, how are we seeing haze and smoke from Canada and the Carolinas? Okay, what I'm showing you is what we call the jet stream. It's the path of winds, right? So we have winds way upstairs in the atmosphere that's basically generated by the difference in temperatures between the poles and the equator, right? We have pretty warm temperatures at the equator, pretty cold at the poles. So you get this ribbon of very fast winds upstairs in the atmosphere, pretty much right across the United States. This is the path of our storms. When we have these storms roll through, this is kind of where it's coming from. This is why our weather goes from west to east. Well, what it's also doing is it's picking up some of the smoke and sending it eastward, right? We're all connected. And this happens kind of frequently, especially in the wildfire season in California. We can pick up on some of that air and it works its way eastward. So we're all connected, even way upstairs in the atmosphere. We're tapping into some of that smoke and it's getting a ride to the East Coast.
So we know how it works and we see some of this haze coming our way. So what's the impact that we can see here?
Yeah, so it's been pretty light around the Carolinas, but you'll notice that haze, especially in the morning and in the evening. And what you might notice is the sunsets look a little bit more red, right? So we have a larger distance from the sun when we're at that horizon, right, in the morning and then going into the evening. And the sun comes in white, but it has all the different colors of the rainbow, right? And it separates once it hits some of the air particles in the atmosphere. Now, the blues, they're shorter wavelengths, so once they bend in the particles, you're probably not going to see them. What you will see is the longer wavelengths, which is the red. So as you're looking at that sunset, again, it's coming into more particles. It has to hit into some of that dust, the different dirtier particles of the smoke, for lack of a better term, and the wavelengths that survive better are the red ones. So your sunset will look a little bit more red, a little reddish orange.
I just really wish you could have gotten more scientific.
Does that
with
make sense?
No, it was really interesting.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
So wait, the sunset would be more vibrant?
It looks like it has like this kind of reddish haze because of the way the dust is making the light
particles.
Bend differently.
Yeah. Okay,
it bends differently, essentially.
Okay. Really, really interesting stuff, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you.